So hello everyone. Very recently I got a microphone which I can directly plug in to my G2 camera. So this video is serving two purposes. One is to test the audio recording, and yes, as the title says, I would like to talk about the running in instructions which you need to follow for your brand new Royal Enfield Bullet or Thunderbird or whatever. So why does your Bullet require running in? Not only the Bullet, almost all motorcycles. It's mainly related to your engine, and it's actually a set of instructions which you need to follow for some specific amount of kilometers, which would result your engine in a good shape and will also give a long life to your engine without any problems. So this topic does not really require a separate video, because if you open your owner's manual which came along with your bike, in the very first few pages itself, you can see that there is a page dedicated to the running in instructions. So you just need to read it and follow it as much as you can. So again, why does the Bullet or any motorcycle engine require the running in? It's mainly because your engine is actually a lot of moving parts which are metal, and it's of course lubricated by oil to reduce the friction between these moving parts. But initially, when your engine is brand new, the friction between these parts will be more. But as you consume more kilometers, by constant motion in cohesion between these parts, they smoothen out and the friction reduces. But as I said before, during the initial 500 or 1000 kilometers, there is more friction between these parts, and the heat generated will also be more, and it's a time when you need to take care not to stress the engine. So the first part of running in instruction is actually to follow speed limits. So for your Bullets, if you refer to your Bullet's owner's manual, you can see that there are speed limits for each gear for the first 500, and then from 500 to 2000 kilometers. So there are separate speed limitation for each gear up to 2000 kilometers. And if you can take care of this, it is recommended. It will leave your engine in a very good shape, reducing any chances or unwanted noises coming from the engine at a later stage. And these speed limitations for each gear, it's not that difficult to follow, because it's like in the second gear don't go about 20, in the third gear don't go about 30. It's easy to remember if you want to follow the limitation for each gear, but I don't know how many will be able to do that. But generally during the first 500 kilometers, the maximum speed recommended is 60. So try to follow this for this specified number of kilometers. And then another thing is, don't try to accelerate quickly, so you can avoid the racing start from signal lights, or try to overtake some other person by providing too much acceleration during the initial period. So it's not a good time to test the maximum speed which you can attain on a bullet. In any case, the bullet is to be ridden with grace. It's not a speed machine. It's for those who enjoy, cruising. And so that's one thing. And then the second thing is not to overload the engine, to overload the bike, I mean. So it's not a good idea to go for a hill ride with a heavy pillion during this first few hundred kilometers. That can wait. And then there is the morning ritual which you need to follow. That is your first start or your cold start. Now this is people seem to be divided on this. When I took delivery, the guy at the showroom advised me to use the Kickstart for the first start in the morning. But I am still a regular at a Bullet Electra 350 forum at BCM Touring. It's actually a very popular forum. I have talked about it before also, and it has many knowledgeable people who have had their bullets for many years and who have experience with all the CA and AVL models too. And they advised me that the best way to start your engine for the first time and for all times is to use the electric start. There is one more thing which actually stands for this you can say argument, that if you refer to the service manual, the owner's manual, it clearly states that for vehicles with ES, that is electric start, using the electric start is a recommended method for starting, for cold start as well as always. The only advantage I can say of using the Kickstart is that you can save battery. But then if you don't Kickstart correctly, you can damage things like the spark clutch, which sits in between the electric start motor and your engine. Not going into details because I'm ignorant completely here. I'm just sharing what I read from forums and which I have followed with good results. So what else? The third thing is, most people when they get the Bullet out of the showrooms, ride it straight to an accessories showroom and change everything, handlebar, exhaust, everything. So it's I would suggest you ride the bike in stock condition for these first few 500 or 1000 kilometers, especially the exhaust, because the stock exhaust is not just an open pipe which is connected to your engine. It is technically designed. There are a lot of compartments inside it, and I'm not saying that there are no quality third-party exhausts. There are, but still it's recommended that you ride with the stock exhaust, at least during the running in period. And replacing the exhaust can also void the warranty, but they're not going to find out, because when you go to the service station you can always strap in the stock exhaust. Now even if you change the exhaust, don't sell the stock exhaust, because sooner or later you might want to come back. And the reason why many people are changing the exhaust is because they don't get the thumping sound which they are so familiar with the older bullets, mainly the CA bullets, the cast iron engine bullets. But my experience is that yes, it's during the first 1000 or 1500 kilometers, you as a rider, you won't hear anything from your bike's exhaust. You will really miss the thump which you wanted. It's one of the things which you booked your Bullet for. So you will miss that. But then, as you consume more kilometers, by the time you cover 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 kilometers, the carbon deposits in your stock exhaust will increase, and it starts to make a pronounced thump. So I can hear the thumping sound right now. So that's one thing. So what else? I think these are the main things to be followed to ride within speed limits, and do not accelerate, do not overload. And yes, there is one more thing. It also states that don't ride at a constant speed for longer intervals of time. So for example, if you're going for a if you're going for a ride during this running in period, don't stay at say 50 or 60 continuously. It's a good idea to change or vary the speed during this period. If you follow all this, you will surely get the results. See, suppose you have run in the bike successfully by mentioning the specified by following the specified speed limits, and then you have completed 2,000 kilometers. What do? You don't take the bike to the highway the next day and try to get 100. No, you don't do that. So there is a specific method by which you ride your Bullet at higher speeds. So suppose you have run in at 60 kilometers successfully. The way you take it to 70 is you take it to an open road, the highway, and accelerate to 70 kilometers per hour and stay there for some time, maybe between 30 seconds or 1 minute. Don't stay. The idea is not to stay there much longer, and then you come back to the older speed, and you repeat this process, and each time you spend more time at the higher speed. So that's how you gradually acclimatize the engine at higher speeds. So I guess you find this information useful, and please feel free to leave your comments. Not an expert, I just sharing what I learned from other people and forums, thinking that it might prove to be useful to you people. So thank you.